It's hard for me as a transplant to walk into a family that's been established here for 30, 40 years and say, hey, how you doing? Can I join your party? It's hard. My genetic chain doesn't match up. I don't have a brother, sister, or cousin, or mother that is otherwise related somehow in hair-string ties. That being the case, people are very tight-knit. Breaking the mold a little bit and letting a few people inside, or letting yourself outside to come experience something individually, might help us bring these other people into these grassroots movements, and then together everybody will achieve more.
Glad to be here. I participated in a little fight. I'm not sure who Ed Jr. and Ed Sr. are. They've been debating who's the father and who's the son, but I know it's a fantastic event. It's great to be here with everybody.
Thank you, first of all, to the person who brings us together here, both Ed Cernix, but especially Ed Cernix Sr. Let's hear it for him.
Well, we send out invitations every year, and then we give personal invitations to our close friends and colleagues, so you have to put a limit on it somewhere, Well, it's a personal type event, but it involves the entire community. And my dad and I have been involved in elective office and appointive office all our life, so we've made a lot of contacts and a lot of friendships through that. We're in the motorcycle business almost 46 years, so that's how our name got spread around.
You must have been the original Hell's Angels.
Close to it. The housing decay, the erosion of the jobs, people walk away from housing, and the things like that. We've got to get good paying jobs in here, So, and that's what we need.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, whatever you're doing, don't do it.
Because business has been good to us, and that's how we made our living. And we didn't make our living through politics; we made our living through business.
I was invited.
Don't record now.
Well, I was invited.
It doesn't matter. Right now, you can't record this way. If you want me to have somebody take you out of here, I will.
Other people come that maybe they didn't have an official invitation, but they're welcome. We welcome everybody.
Yeah. It's personal. Head sitting on the ground up there. I don't want you recording in that direction. So you need to move the camera.
Taxpayers not paying for this. I can guarantee you that. Guarantee you that. Taxpayers not paying for a penny of this.
My name is Alex Ashcombe, and this is my story. I'm Johnstown born and raised. My family's lived in this town for just shy of 100 years. I come from that family where we do government service. We want to help people. You can maintain those relationships.
Well, you have to remember, when it comes to vision, it's not just the Central Park and Raise grant. I unearthed documents showing they were involved in the referendum to change the city manager status. They were involved with the last election. There are things that they're doing that are highly questionable.
And they actually put out propaganda that was like, no city manager wants to work here for $135,000 a year because they have to live in the city and the city's that bad. So now vote for it.
Amy, I'm looking for some marketing assistance. The amendments to the city's charter will be appearing on the November ballot as referendums. The most significant of these is the one that proposes changing the residency requirement for the city manager. The city needs to undertake some marketing to inform the public of the importance of the amendments and to encourage approval. Can you help me out with that? I'm looking for a simple message that we can use on everything from billboards to social media. Do you have any time next week that we can get together? Daniel Panatzer.
Hi, Dan. My apologies for not responding sooner. I meant to and then forgot. I have some time next week, Tuesday, between 10 a.m. and 1:30. Wednesday, 11 a.m. or 2:30 p.m. Friday, anytime after 1:30 p.m. If one of those days' times does not work, then let me know and we can look at the next week, which is a little more open. Thanks. Amy.
How about Monday the 13th about 10? I can stop over if good.
Hi, Dan. We have our golf outing that day. Is there another day time that will work? Thanks.
Tuesday?
Tuesday will work for me. What time works best for you? Thanks, Dan.
I'll stop over at 10.
Because no one wanted to live in the city because the city's that bad and the school district's that bad, so no one wants to come here to work for that amount of money, and that's how they phrased it. So that's pretty rough.
Vivian, the attached ad needs to be published on Saturday, October 2nd, 2021, and then 3 more times in October under legal notices. Please also publish this same ad on October 11th, October 18th, and October 25th, 2021. I will need proofs of publication for each notice. Please let me know the cost. Thank you. Nancy.
Nancy, just so I am square with this particular ad, you need the notary work for each ad separately, and that I should not include the total inches and amounts on just one notarized statement. Is that correct?
Yes, our solicitor was specific in requesting proof of publication of each notice. Thanks for checking.
Nancy, PDF attached of your notice that will run October 2nd, 11th, 18th, and 25th. I will invoice the city for $588.75 for each notice. Thanks.
Looks good. Thanks.
Okay, thanks, Vivian.
The district attorney I believe he had a ruling out, and there was a fine from the city for working on the referendums. Vision was a part of that. I actually gave a speech, you could find it on Facebook, where I challenged Amy Bradley, and it's probably the nastiest speech I ever gave to someone's face at the chamber, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, saying, "You did this, here are the records," and she just kind of stood there and watched. I'll find that for you.
Good afternoon, City Council. Interim Manager Panatzer asked me to provide you an update on the advertising of the City Charter amendments up for vote on November 2nd. In consultation with Cambria Regional Chamber, we have developed an advertising campaign consisting of 3 components: flyers for community spaces, billboard use, and a mailer to city residents. Draft copies of these materials are attached. The current strategy is to begin the billboard campaign on Thursday, utilizing both billboards on Haynes Street and the 56 Expressway attached to DC Noakes building. Flyers will be distributed to community organizations in the coming weeks to provide to their patrons and direct them to city materials explaining and advocating for the changes. Finally, the mailer will be delivered the week prior to November 2nd, informing residents of final time to adopt these changes. Residents may direct their inquiries to the city webpage, giving detailed information on the referendum questions and why the city is advocating their approvals. They may also contact me via phone and email. We strongly believe these initiatives will dramatically increase public support in modernizing our operations. Best regards, Alex Ashcombe.
So their agenda was, we want this man in this position, so we'll dupe citizens of the city, which obviously isn't that hard because they just went along with it. And they said, yeah, you know what? We're going to pay this guy a lot of money, then he doesn't have to live here.
You don't scare very many people by saying, all right, well, you could get in trouble for doing this. And they go, yeah, well, the guy before me did this and nothing happened to him.
Because everybody in Johnstown, you either know somebody or you're related to somebody somehow, some way down the line. So it will never stop until they put a stop to it, or somebody comes in and does that.
You know, the way the city was set up with boroughs shoved these genealogies, these families, these genetic chains in these different boroughs for however long it takes them to live it down. And that's not right because, you know, $400 in the West End is $400 in Hornerstown, which is $400 in Southmont, which is $400 in Moxon. There's no difference in the currency rate. The difference is that, you know, are you willing to step outside of this governed zone that you've lived in, this borough, this township, and go make a friend on another block that may not otherwise be related to you? And if we can do that, we can improve culture, collaboration, entrepreneurship, and other types of diverse aspects.
So the city gets $32.5 million from COVID, and they're focusing almost all of it on this small section because Vision's office is located right on the street where they want to spend the money. So they put $10,000 in lights to say, look, we have lights, everything's great, while the neighborhoods are falling apart.
I think that's what they're trying to do. They were going to put this major park down there and Splash Park and everything else, and that was going to draw people into town. I've been here my whole life. My parents told me about how several times they've tried these main street revitalization projects. The one time they turned the city all one ways. Currently, the main street has these inlets where it juts out, and basically all it does is, I think, makes it hard for them to plow Main Street, and it eliminates parking spaces. You'll see how it kind of curves instead of it's just a straight line down Main Street. At one time, that was gonna do it. And I mean, my parents remember, they told me that, yeah, they kind of a joke, like, yeah, that was gonna bring everybody downtown and we're gonna change the flow with one-way streets. It's the same mindset that they're gonna do these things and bring people into downtown. But meanwhile, you have these buildings with no one living in them above. I mean, if you want main streets to work, you need foot traffic.
They're not used to somebody not from this place coming in and inviting them in when other people from this area wouldn't even have anything to do with them. If we get more people involved in these grassroots movements, then guess what? That we can scale up a lot faster. And that would be critical to our overall existence in this general area.
So you would see articles in the newspaper every week. Vision's doing this, Vision's doing that. They're great, great, great. Tedesco had a regular monthly article. Other Vision board members had regular articles writing columns promoting the agenda of the nonprofit. So you have a nonprofit using the media as a propaganda arm openly to curry favor and support and confuse the average person so they believe that Vision's good and everybody else is bad.
Wanted to make sure before any story runs. Referendum question. Yes would give City Council the ability to change the language regarding the city manager residency requirement. No would deny City Council the ability to change the language regarding the city manager residency requirement. Editor Chip Minnemeyer is included in this email too.
Correct. Your question applies only to question number 7. A yes vote would allow council to make the decision based upon circumstances to require or not require residency. Council could also impose a radius in which the manager would have to reside, for example 10 miles or so.
Thanks. I am writing an article about this flyer and the message at the website on Monday. I would like to talk to all 3 of you if possible. Thanks.
Dave, give me a call or stop by anytime.
In 20 years, this town potentially could be dead.
They do illegal things because they're all working together to push their agenda.
Our local media knows what's going on. They deliberately cover it up. Every time they get a chance to do something noteworthy, they water it down, they minimize it, or they downright twist the story and change it completely.
Like the usual suspects. Put in the same ingredients, you're going to get out the same product.
That stubborn refusal to give up